Welcome back to Atlantic High School for Game 2 of our quarterfinal doubleheader, live from courtside here at the Shark Tank on the campus of Atlantic High School. If you missed the opening game of the tournament, the Atlantic Sharks beat the Titusville Terriers by a score of 56 to 48. And now it is time to see who joins them in the semifinals as the number 3 Cocoa Tigers face the number 6 Space Coast Vipers. Hello and a very warm welcome to tonight's second broadcast of the 2021 FHSAA 4A District 9 Boys Basketball Tournament live on MJT Sports Productions. My name is Michael Dravillo. Thank you for rejoining me live here from courtside. The 6th seeded Space Coast Vipers had ended the regular season with a record of 6-15, 0-2 in conference play. And coming into the tournament, they're the number 6 seed. The Vipers' offense all flows through junior guard Cam Banks, who averages 18.9 points per game, shoots 46% from the floor, and holds all-time Space Coast basketball record for points in a game with 41. Senior forward Quentin Fulton adds 8.3 points per game, and fellow senior Alex Kenyon, who unfortunately is not playing tonight, paces the Vipers in rebounds with 4.5 points per game. The Cocoa Tigers are the reigning champions of 4A District 9, beating Titusville in the semifinals and Satellite in the finals to capture the crown 12 months ago. This year, the Tigers are the number 3 seed and come in with a 9-11 record, 3-1 in district play. Cocoa is riding a wave of recent success, winning 2 of their last 3, including a 69-63 victory 7 days ago over the very same Space Coast team that stands across the hardwood from them tonight. A Tigers win would put them one step closer to completing the double championship with the Cocoa girls team, who won their district tournament right here at Atlantic High School last week. Now as we get close to tip-off for our second semifinal, it's time for the NJT Sports Productions keys to the game. For Space Coast, take it to the bank. The Vipers run through Cam Banks, getting him open looks will be how Space Coast stays in the game down the stretch. Also important to keep Cam out of foul trouble. And for Cocoa, don't turn the ball over. Space Coast averages 11 turnovers per game, so keep hold of that basketball and take advantage of any second chance opportunities on offense. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll kick it to the, we'll kick it to the desk for the rosters and tip-off here from Atlantic High School. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of 4A District 9 basketball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Atlantic High School for the Class 4A District 9 District Championship game between number 3 seed Cocoa High School and number 6 seed Space Coast High School. The FHSAA reminds you that the physical active events are an extension of the classroom and that lessons are best learned when proper respect is afforded to all. Please let your good sportsmanship show as you watch this evening's game. All right, now for the starting lineup for tonight's game for the Space Coast Vipers, coached by Kenny Herbert. All right, for our non-starter, we have number 5, Desmond Muhammad, number 11, Ira Foster. And for the starting lineup, we have number 1, Cameron Bates, number 10, Quentin Fulton, number 25, Zach Thompson, number 32, Conley Brown, and number 35, Jordan Van Langenham. And for your Cocoa Tigers, coached by Ed Jones. All right, you have your non-starter, number 0, Jaquez Green, number 1, Emery Dixon, number 3, Trayvon Thomas, number 5, Caleb Dobbs, number 12, Keon Coleman, number 23, Cam Lee, number 24, Amaria Jordan. And for the starting lineup, we have number 2, Casey Carroll, number 10, Donovan Giles, number 11, Shetty Green, number 22, Justin Ballard, and
your starting lineups, so run through them for you one more time before we get going. For Coco, it's Casey Carroll, Donovan Giles, Chevy Green, Justin Vallon, Elijah Davis. And for Space Coast, it's Cam Banks, Kanye Brown, Quinton Fulton, Zachary Thompson, and Jordan Van Landingham. Coco will go right to left in this opening half. They wear the all-white trimmed in orange and black. Orange numbers, black trim. The Vipers, in the road black, trimmed in white and purple. And let's play basketball as the tip goes the way of Space Coast. They work left to right once again in their black, trimmed in purple and white. Controlling is Quinton Fulton, the senior. Out between the circles, moves to his right. He's guarded by Casey Carroll. Passes it flat, still at the top of the key, and then gets it back from Van Landingen. Into the lane, through a double team. Layup won't go. Rebound is offensively won and a foul called underneath. As getting to the basket was Kanye Brown. They're going to draw the foul on Giles, Donovan Giles, the junior. And that's his first at the line. Is Kanye Brown, number 32. His first is no good. Crowd has thinned out a bit here at the Shark Tank. Obviously with the hometown team playing first as one of two. The second one's up and good from Brown. And here's the first offensive possession for the Coco Tigers. Controlled up top by Casey Carroll. Carroll between the circles into the high post, up and in. It was a little lob up for Elijah Davis, and Davis grabs the bucket. 2-1 Coco on top to play full court press. Behind the back, here's Quinton Fulton. Fulton across the timeline, top of the key, and it goes to the right-hand corner. It's bumped out of bounds. It'll be Space Coast basketball, as getting the last touch was Casey Carroll. Inbound goes under the basket. Turning around, and a shot is blocked, but it comes all the way back up on top to Cameron Banks. He's the big scorer for the Vipers, 18.9 points per game. Into the right-hand corner, driving baseline, kicks it back to Banks. A three-pointer on the way, it's good! Cameron Banks on schedule. And it's 4-2. Space Coast over Coco, 6:36 to play. Underneath the basket it goes, posting up, throwing up a layup and getting fouled is, I'm pretty sure that's Chevy Green. And they're gonna get Kanye Brown for his first foul. At the line, is gonna be Donovan Giles, as he'll shoot two. As maybe you can hear in the back the voice of Edwin Jones, the Coco Tigers coach. First of a two-shot penalty is up and good from Giles. Has one more with an attempt to tie the game here. It is up, it is good. Swish from Giles. Again, the two-man press comes from Coco. Controlling is Quinton Fulton. Into the front court, Banks. Fulton gets it back at the top, into the right-hand corner. And then Fulton gets it back in front of the Coco bench. Fulton, guarded by Casey Carroll. Bounce pass left-hand side, Banks. Banks backs up through a double team, kicks it out to Carroll. A three-pointer's on the way, too short. And stepping on the baseline as he retrieved the basketball was Kanye Brown, so it'll be Coco ball. 6:06 to play first quarter, 4-4 between the Tigers and the Vipers. Once again, thanks for sticking around for the second game of our doubleheader here live from Atlantic High School. Casey Carroll controls, left-hand corner, it comes and then back to Carroll, his three-pointer off the mark. Offensive rebound grabbed by Elijah Davis, back out of three, too short for Chevy Green, and the rebound to Space Coast, 4-4 the tie. 5:41 to play first quarter. Stopped up in his own half is Banks. Now double teamed out high is Quinton Fulton, but he got fouled as he tried to split a double team in front of the scorer's table. They're gonna get Carroll for his first foul. So quickly two fouls on the Coco Tigers, and inbounding right in front of our broadcast position at the scorer's table is Zachary Thompson. Thompson throws it back to Banks. Banks back across the timeline. 5:30 to go first quarter in a tie 4-4 ball game. Banks drives the lane, tries to put a floater up, and it's stripped out of his hands. Running the floor, bounce pass under the basket. Oh, and it tried to jam, but it won't go, and then a foul on the rebound. Who tried that jam? That was, I think, Donovan Giles. He tried to sky for the slam dunk, and it didn't get there. But it will be a foul on Space Coast, and it'll be an inbound under the basket for Coco. Comes back to the top for Casey Carroll. Carroll to the right-hand corner. 3 on the way, no good for Chevy Green. Rebound grab by Elijah Davis. Coco still with the basketball. Carroll. Here's Justin Vallon, drives the lane, dumps it off underneath. Kick out back to the top, into the right-hand corner. 3 on the way from Green, swish. Chevy Green, his first bucket of the night is a 3-pointer for the senior point guard. And it's 7-4 Coco. Dancing up on top is Quinton Fulton. Fulton hands to Zachary Thompson, and he throws the ball away with a pass intended for Banks. Driving the lane is Casey Carroll. Gets to the lane, up and in. That's Carroll's first bucket, and it's 9-4. Space Coast got to be careful that this doesn't get out of hand early. Underneath the basket, spinning in a block. Huge block underneath, and a layup attempt by Zachary Thompson. But the Vipers maintain possession. Fulton out on top, guarded by Chevy Green. Fulton moving to his left. Skip step in the lane. 3-pointer from the left-hand corner, no good. Offensive rebound is lost, and it goes to Coco's Elijah Davis. Davis hands the ball to Carroll. Carroll goes coast to coast. Kicks it out left-hand corner. 3 on the way, no good. That 3 was tried by Justin Vallon, then a timeout underneath after Cam Banks grabbed the rebound. We'll take 30 seconds and be right back. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of 4A District 9 basketball tournament. As the official healthcare champion of Volusia County Schools, Advent Health is committed to providing championship caliber care. With 4 hospitals, 4 urgent care centers, and 6 sports medicine and rehab locations across Volusia County, Advent Health is here to keep your student athlete off the sidelines and get them back in the game. Visit adventhealth.com to learn more. Coco on top of Space Coast, 9-4, 3:52 to play first quarter here from Atlantic High School, second quarterfinal of the 4A District 9 boys basketball tournament. Second of our doubleheader. Full court press comes from the Coco Tigers, and they turn the ball over off the inbounds pass. 3-pointer is so-ish from the right-hand corner for Chevy Green, his second of the ball game. And it's 12-4 Coco. Long pass into the front court. Here's Banks stepping into a 3-pointer from straight on. No good is Fulton, and then a foul underneath on the rebound. And they're going to get Brown for his second. Into the ball game for the first time comes Cam Lee. Lee replaces Vallon. This is a very tall Coco Tigers team. I only have a couple of heights. Vallon 6'2". Amarian Jordan, who's on the bench, is 6'5". 3:20 to go. Coco with the basketball on a 12-4 lead. Here's Casey Carroll. Up top, guarded by Banks. Left-hand corner. 3 on the way. Not good, too short by Lee. Defensive rebound goes to the Vipers. Cam Banks walks forward, crosses the time stripe, 3:05 to go. Banks really got to get rolling. He has 3 points, but no more. Gets off a screen, rolls to his right. Now walks back to the top. Kicks it to the left-hand corner. Fulton on a drive, gets to the paint, tries to shovel it underneath, but now he's double-teamed. Baseline, here's Villingham, drives the lane, gets fouled, and will go to the line. Excuse me, that's Zachary Thompson, who will go to the line. They'll draw the first foul on Elijah Davis. Zachary Thompson, a 67% free throw shooter on the season, as he's at the line for the first time in the ball game. And it is up and in for his first penalty shot. Into the ball game for the first time comes Keon Calhoun for the Tigers. He replaces Donovan Giles. Second of a two-shot penalty. It's going to be a lane violation for the Vipers. Coco with the basketball with a 12-5 lead. 2:45 to go in the first quarter. Carroll into the front court, rolls to his right, up on high, into the right-hand corner. Back up top for Green. Green drives, puts up a 15-footer in the lane, won't go. Offensive rebound is lost, and it's grabbed by the Vipers. Cam Banks into the front court. Banks plays it flat to Quentin Fulton. Fulton into the corner. Van Landingham, drops it back to Fulton, and they will reset. Van Landingham walks it back to the top from the left-hand corner. Bounce pass Banks, comes off his wrist, he collects. Banks with no real pressure on him from Casey Carroll, out high to the left. He takes a way distance three. It's no good, but the offensive rebound is grabbed by Space Coast and a foul as going over the back was Chevy Green, his first. And that was on Desmond Mohammed, who's just checked into the game. So Cam Banks, the gunner. Vipers inbounding baseline to listeners right. Banks throws it all the way up to Mohammed. He stands all the way up on top, hands it flat between the circles to Quentin Fulton. Fulton guarded by the center Elijah Davis. Here's Mohammed underneath the basket, Van Landingham. Back out Banks, his three-pointer right-hand corner too short. And the rebound goes to Coco. Pushing the pace, here's Casey Carroll. He'll slow up right at the Atlantic logo at midcourt. 1:35 to go first quarter, 12-5 Tigers over the Space Coast Vipers. Casey Carroll will just wait for things to develop in front of him with 1:25 to go. Plays it left, then gets it back from Chevy Green. Green already with 6 points on 2 3-pointers in this first quarter. 1:15 to go as the Vipers just will not pressure the ball at all. Way out high. Carroll gets it back. Elijah to the corner. A three-pointer on the way, no good. And I think an offensive foul is going to be called. Yep, they're going to get the foul on Calhoun. Push underneath as the three-pointer was coming in. It was no good. Attempted by Chevy Green. Again, the two-man press comes from the Tigers. Trying to dribble out of it is Quentin Fulton. He draws a double team, throws it way into the front court and over the head of Desmond Mohammed. So it'll be Coco basketball. 56 seconds to go in the first quarter. Tigers up 12-5. Casey Carroll getting some instructions from his bench as he walks across the Atlantic logo with 48 seconds to go in the quarter. Gets it back from Chevy Green. Now up on top. Here's Amarian Jordan, who's just checked in. Now double teamed. Here's Chevy Green. Gets it over. A three-pointer on the way from Casey Carroll. No good. Skying for the rebound is Van Landingham. He got caught in the face, and a foul is going to be called. And they're going to get Amarian Jordan for his first. So 6 fouls already on the Coco Tigers. Really the only flaw so far in the Tigers' game plan is they lead 12-5, 31.6 seconds to go first quarter. Thankfully for the Tigers, nobody has more than 2. Carroll, Green, Calhoun, Jordan, Davis, and Giles all have 1. Into the front court comes Quentin Fulton, racing through the press. He tries to go coast to coast, under the basket, steps from the baseline, Coco basketball. Jacquez Green checks into the ball game for Coco. He replaces Elijah Davis, who heads to the bench. Coco ball, 12-6 Tigers over the Space Coast Vipers. 20 seconds to go first quarter. Outside of a three-pointer from Cam Banks, the other 2 Viper points are from the free throw line. So an excellent job defensively by the Coco Tigers. Left-hand corner, 3 on the way, no good. Offensive rebound by Coco. Put back too strong. On a third offensive rebound is grabbed by Coco. Baseline jumper, 15-footer, no good. At the horn. So the Tigers miss 3 great chances to increase their lead at the horn. But at the end of the first quarter, it's Cocoa 12, Space Coast 5. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of 4A District 9 basketball. If you are enjoying tonight's broadcast, be sure to hit the like button on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and share the broadcast with other basketball fans by clicking share or retweet. Thank you for supporting MJT Sports Productions and FHSAA basketball. Second quarter on tap here from the Shark Tank on the campus of Atlantic High School. The second quarterfinal of the night. It's the Cocoa Tigers 12, the Space Coast Vipers 5, pacing the Tigers with 2 3-pointers and 6 points is Chevy Green. And Cameron Banks, the only basket from the floor for Space Coast with a 3-pointer early in the quarter, and the other 2 points coming from the free throw line. And as I mentioned before we went to break, one of the things that the Tigers have not done well is stay out of foul trouble. 6 fouls already, 1 from the bonus, and we've got 8 minutes to go in the first half. Tigers with the basketball. Here's Casey Carroll. Stands up top between the circles. Hands to Elijah Davis. Davis into the post. And a layup is no good from Keon Calhoun. Gets it back off the rebound. Foul is called. And they're going to get it on Brown, his third. So 3 of the 4 fouls for Space Coast have come on Kanye Brown, and he's still in the ballgame after getting 3 fouls in the first half. Inbounds pass for the Tigers comes up top to Carroll. Carroll right-hand side. Ball poked away from Jacquez Green, but right back to Carroll as he'll collect and reset. Carroll floats into the high post for Amarian Jordan. Jordan works down low. Ball's ripped away from him by Jordan Van Landingham of Space Coast. Cam Banks races past Jacquez Green into the front court. Plays it across the top to Quentin Fulton. Fulton, Van Landingham up between the circles. The tallest player on the Vipers roster, worked on hard by Amarian Jordan. Hands it to Cam Banks. Banks at the free throw line, spins in the lane, gets it back up to the lane. He's gonna go to the free throw line as his shot rattled off the rim, no good. But it's gonna be Carroll's second foul. First Tiger with multiple fouls. And Cam Banks will go to the line. You can see the quality that Cam Banks brings. He's just so elusive. He's got great hands. And he's got great ball awareness. And as I say that, he misses the first of his 2-shot penalty. Desmond Mohammed checks back in for the Vipers, replacing Kanye Brown, who's got 3 fouls. Banks' second is through, 1 of 2 from the line that time. And it's 12-6 Cocoa Tigers. Tigers into the front court. Long 3 from the right-hand wing, no good from Jacquez Green. Offensive rebound grabbed by Amarian Jordan. His putback is no good, but he'll go to the line. They're going to get Quentin Fulton for his first foul. And something the Space Coast Vipers cannot afford to do tonight is get into foul trouble. They only have 7 dressed players on their roster, as the first of 2 free throws is up and no good by Amarian Jordan. Mixture of illness, not COVID related, and injury has left Woodrow Smith, Alex Kenyon, Sean Cooch, Daniel Dugan, and Tron Reynolds out of the ball game for Space Coast. Jordan misses them both. Rebound is going to roll across the baseline. Vipers basketball. No, excuse me, Cocoa basketball. Amarian Jordan comes out and Casey Carroll comes out for the Tigers. Trevon Thomas is in. I'm not sure who else checked in. And Donovan Giles checks back in. Ball into the right-hand corner. Back to the top for Trevon Thomas. Thomas, left-hand side. Hands it, stepping inside. Jump shot, no good for Jacquez Green. Rebound to the Vipers. Again, this time a 3-man press from Coco. And that'll be a 10-second violation as Cam Banks and Quentin Fulton couldn't get it go off the timeline. And with 6:28 to go in the second quarter, 12-6 still the score. Only 1 point in the quarter so far through 1 minute and 45 seconds. And that's the free throw by Cam Banks. Out on top, here's Calhoun. Left-hand wing, Green. Back up top to Calhoun. Baseline, left-hand side. Back to Jaquez Green in the corner. Green steps inside, takes a long two, overshoots it and missed everything. Vipers will grab the rebound. And again, the press comes. Trying to spin out of it is Quentin Fulton. Fulton to Banks. Banks throws it across the timeline. It comes to Zachary Thompson, then Banks gets it back. Banks to the lane, he's gonna be fouled and go to the line. It's gonna be Jaquez Green, his first, and Banks will go to the line again. I get the feeling I'm gonna be saying that a lot over the next hour and a half. 4 dribbles for Banks, into his windup, it's up and no good front iron. So again, Banks has missed the first of his 2-shot penalty. And Jaquez Green, after picking up the foul, goes out to the bench, replaced by Justin Vallon, the starter. Sophomore guard, 6'2", for Vallon. Up and in on the second one for Banks. Banks has got 5 of his team's 7. They trail 7-12. Almost poked away, but the Cocoa Tigers regain it. Out on top, here's Justin Vallon. High post, down and a nice shovel underneath the basket. A wild layup is no good by Vallon. Still fighting for the rebound. An offensive rebound is grabbed, and then a foul is going to be underneath the basket. I think it's going to be on Space Coast, but not the act of shooting. It will be on Mohammed, his first. And it'll be a baseline in for Coco under the basket that they attack to listeners left. Out high right-hand side, the ball's going to be stolen away by Mohammed. Mohammed hands to Banks. Banks races into the front court. Stops short of the free throw line. Now a walk back up on top between the circles. Banks guarded by Calhoun. Now he plays it over to Fulton. Fulton drives, kicks it, right-hand side, Banks. Almost hit the referee in the face, but Banks corrals it. Back to Fulton. His three-pointer right-hand corner, in and out. Almost got it to go, and the Cocoa Tigers take the rebound, falling on the ground and pitching the ball into the front court. Here's under the basket, kick out left-hand side, three-pointer for the left-hand corner, too strong from Chevy Green. Another offensive board for the Tigers, and a tie-up underneath is going to be a jump ball. And the Vipers will have the possession arrow. No points in this second quarter so far for the Cocoa Tigers, and we're almost halfway through it. 4:51 to go in the second quarter. A timeout is called by the Space Coast Vipers. It's a full timeout, so we'll step away for 30 seconds and be right back. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of the 4A District 9 basketball tournament. Advent Health is here for you and with you during every tip-off, every timeout, and every season to support you physically, mentally, and spiritually in this game called life. Advent Health is on your team. They're your biggest fan, and they're here to help you feel whole. Advent Health is a proud supporter of Volusia County School Athletics. Visit adventhealth.com to learn more. Only 1 point scored in the second quarter so far. It's 12-7, Cocoa over Space Coast. The Vipers with the basketball. They wear the road black, trimmed in white and purple, and they attack the basket to listeners right. But right now, they're inbounding against the full court press. Cam Banks takes the basketball against the double team deep in his own zone. Throws it way up for Van Landingham. Van Landingham into the front court, pitches right-hand corner for Thompson. Zachary Thompson hands to Quentin Fulton against ahead of the bench. Now Banks shovels into the corner. Mohammed underneath the basket. Van Landingham, he loses the basketball. It's going to go out of bounds off of the foot of a Cocoa Tiger, being Donovan Giles. Vipers still trying to close the gap here. Down 5 with 4:28 to go in a very low-scoring first half. Bounce pass under the basket. Quentin Fulton up and under. The number 10 is on the board for the first time for the Vipers. It's 12-9. Down to a 3-point gap. Justin Vallon controls for Coco. Shoveled around to the right-hand side. Now into the baseline. Jumping under the basket and getting a shot blocked. Donovan Giles got his shot blocked by Zachary Thompson. And now Space Coast can come back down by 3. 3:58 to go first half. Here's Quentin Fulton in front of the scorer's table, dribbling through his legs, trying to get by his man. He does, he drives, he kicks, and the ball is in and out of the hands of Kanye Brown on the left-hand side. Coming back into the left-hand corner. Justin Vallon drives the lane, puts up a tough shot and gets it to go. First points of the game for Justin Vallon and the first points of the second quarter for the Cocoa Tigers, ending an almost 5-minute drought. Under the basket, nice Euro step, layoff. Mohammed, back out Banks. Banks at the free throw line. He moves right. Banks now drives through a triple team and lays it in. Cameron Banks. Styles. Into the front court. Shovels it under the basket. And another block by Van Landingham, and Space Coast gets the ball back. Nice block on Giles by Van Landingham, and then a pass is tipped out of bounds, intended for Quentin Fulton. It'll be an inbounds pass for the Vipers. Into the ball game for the first time comes Ira Foster for Space Coast, as well as Elijah Davis for Cocoa. Cam Banks gets the inbounds pass, no pressure as he walks across the time stripe. 2:55 to go in this very low-scoring first half. 14-11 Cocoa leads. Banks pulls up from 20 feet, and he's going to get fouled on the jump shot. And he's going to get Justin Vallon for the push-off. And so Cam Banks heads to the free throw line. That is the 9th foul on Cocoa in this first half, so they're now in the bonus. Remember, they had 6 fouls in the first quarter. So Banks rattles home the first one. He's up to 8 of his team's 12 points. Fulton has 2, Brown has 1, Thompson has 1. The other scores for the Vipers. Second free throw is right through there for Banks, and the lead is 1 for Cocoa, 14-13. Into the front court, here's Thomas. Thomas hands to Elijah Davis up on top. Left-hand corner, Vallon. Back to Davis straight away. Then left-hand wing, Thomas. Back to Davis. Davis throws into the left-hand corner. Baseline drive to the hole. No good, and the rebound is tapped to the Vipers. That was Donovan Giles again, getting to the lane but not getting it in. Into the front court for Van Landingham. Left-hand side. Out high here is Quentin Fulton. Fulton almost has the ball poked away from him by Giles, and he does. Giles into the front court, fakes the pass, gets to the lane. Excuse me, that's Justin Vallon gets the and one as he skies to the basket. That's the first foul on Cam Banks. Great play on the floor by Donovan Giles to strip Quentin Fulton to the basketball. Stay with the play, then shovel it ahead to Vallon for the transition bucket. And the and one does go for Vallon. Vallon up to 7 points now. 17-13. Vipers got to get into the front court. They do with Banks. Banks to the lane, kicks it left-hand side. Three-pointer all the way, and swish for Quentin Fulton, who's up to 5, and the lead is back down to 1. Quickly into the front court, to the lane, and a foul is going to be called on against Justin Vallon as he went to the lane, and he'll go to the line. Ira Foster picks up his first foul on the Space Coast side. Well, if you were listening into this broadcast expecting a lot of offense, well, you did not find it here. 1:42 to go in the first half of play. 17-16, Cocoa leads Space Coast. And the free throw is up and in, first of two for Justin Vallon. Pushes the lead to 18-16. Into the ball game for the first time for Cocoa comes Caleb Dobbs. He wears number 5. Second of two free throws for Vallon, front iron and in. So he hits them both. Up to 9 points for Justin Vallon of the 19 that Cocoa has. Cam Banks through a triple team, floats it into the front court for Fulton. Fulton in front of the Cocoa bench has the ball knocked away from him by Caleb Dobbs. And it'll be Vipers inbound sideline in front of the Cocoa bench to listeners' right. As I mentioned, kind of a sparse crowd here for the second game of our doubleheader. The hosts, Atlantic, played in the first game, got the win, 56-48. And we'll move on to play Astronaut in the second round. Winner of this game gets Satellite tomorrow night. Of course, that game can be heard right here on MJT Sports Productions on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Cam Banks out up high, gets a screen, pick and pop. Back iron, no good. Long rebound comes to Justin Vallon. Vallon hands the ball to Caleb Dobbs into the front court. Back to Vallon up high. Vallon to the lane, he drives, he puts it up, it's no good, too strong. Battling for the rebound is Banks, he'll rip it away from Vallon. Banks to Fulton. Fulton crosses the timeline, minute 5 to go. Into the left-hand corner, that's Foster. Back to Giles, underneath the basket, Van landing him, and a layup is no good. Rebound, Cocoa, pushing the pace. Up hut to Vallon, long pass, and it's stripped away out of his hands as Vallon goes crashing to the ground. Tracking back was Ira Foster. It looked like it was going to be an easy layup for Justin Vallon, but it was anything but, as Ira Foster tracked him down and knocked the ball out of his hands from behind. Baseline in for Cocoa. To listeners left. It comes out up high to Caleb Dobbs. Dobbs at the free throw line, backs up, kicks it right-hand side. 3 on the way, good! It is a swish for Donovan Giles, his first bucket from the floor tonight. Excuse me, that last one was Chevy Green, his third 3. Splitting a double team is Quentin. Fulton gets it to Banks. Banks' layup no good. He gets his own rebound, tries to put it up and under up. It's no good. Cocoa comes away with it. Throws it into the front court. Setting up 4-3. Taking it in transition. Caleb Dobbs, no good. Long rebound comes back to Vallon. And then Vallon hands it back to Caleb Dobbs. 8 seconds to go in the quarter. 22-16. At the horn, a long 2, no good. Offensive putback and a foul with 0.7 to go. And to the line will go Donovan Giles. And they're going to get Van Landingen for his first foul. At the line, Devin Giles. Oh, his only 2 points of the game were from the free throw line, but he misses this first one. 0.7 to go in the first quarter as Trayvon Thomas checks back in. So this will be the last action of the first half. Excuse me, I said first quarter. It was a close game. It's been pushed to 6, and now the second free throw is up and good. Pushed it to 7. And with 0.7 on the clock, the Vipers can do nothing but watch the clock run out. And that'll be the end of the first half. Your score, Cocoa Tigers 23, Space Coast Vipers 16. We'll be right back after this short break with the first half stats and highlights. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of the 4A District 9 Boys Basketball Tournament. Live from courtside here at Atlantic High School, it is the Space Coast Vipers and the Cocoa Tigers in the second quarterfinal here at the 4A District 9 basketball tournament. We are at halftime with your score 23-16 in favor of Cocoa. Here are your scores for Space Coast. It's their talisman Cam Banks who leads the way with 9 points. Quentin Fulton has 5, Kanye Brown has 1, Zach Thompson also has 1. And for the Cocoa Tigers, 9 points for Chevy Green on 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. 7 points for Justin Vallon. 3 points for Devin Giles. 3 points for Devin Giles. 2 points for Elijah Davis. And 2 points for Casey Carroll. Foul trouble, nobody really in foul trouble except for Kanye Brown for Space Coast, who's got 3 fouls. The only person who has more than 1 for the Tigers is Carroll, who has 2. Once again, your score at halftime, the Cocoa Tigers 23, the Space Coast Vipers 16. We'll take 5 minutes and then be back for the second half. You're listening to MJT Sports Productions broadcast of the 4A District 9 Boys Basketball Playoffs. Welcome back to Atlantic High School. Second half on tap for the second of our doubleheader in the second quarterfinal. Your score at the break, it's the Cocoa Tigers 23, the Space Coast Vipers 16. The gap for at the end of the second quarter is the same as the gap at the end of the first quarter, as both teams put in 11 points in the second. At one point, Space Coast had lowered the gap to 2, but then sharp shooting or the power in the lane from Justin Vallon and sharp shooting from Chevy Green widened the gap. You can catch every game of the FHSAA 4A District 9 basketball tournament. Can be heard right here on MJT Sports Productions on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The boys tournament runs February 9th to 12th. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at MJT Sports Productions for updates on the times and matchups. So here we go. Cocoa in the road, white uniforms, orange and black trim. Orange numbers trimmed in black. They get the ball first in the second half. They go left to right. The Space Coast Vipers are in the road, black strip. Purple and white trim, purple numbers, white outline. Left-hand corner, baseline drive, kick out back to the top for Amari Dixon, and the Tigers will set up their half-court offense, leading 23-16. Davis back to the top for Donovan Giles. Giles splits a double team, gets the ball stripped by Cam Banks. And the Vipers take possession. Banks underneath the basket, and a nice block as going up for the layup was Kanye Brown, and getting back to block it was Donovan Giles. Ball goes under the basket, a nice layup on the baseline for Casey Carroll, his 4th points of the game. And it's 25-16. Long pass on Van Landingham. Van Landingham under the basket for Thompson. Back up top, Banks. An up and under move as he circles the clock and gets a layup to fall for Banks. Banks up to 11 points, then flying up the other end, getting the ball ripped out of his hands. Justin Vallon went to the lane, and he was denied at the point of contact by Kanye Brown. So a block apiece early in the third quarter. 25-18, Cocoa on top. Winner gets Satellite Beach tomorrow night. Into the right-hand corner. 3 on the way, and good! Quick start for Carroll in the second half. Casey Carroll has 5. And it's 28-18, 10-point lead for the Tigers. They've started the second half with a vengeance. Full court press again. Thrown to the front court for Van Landingham. Van Landingham back to Fulton. Quentin Fulton out high right. Van Landingham in the corner. He'll try a 3. It's no good off the back iron. Long rebound to the corner. And pushing the pace is Davis. Davis across to Vallon. Vallon had a bad pass from Davis, and he slipped and fell and traveled. So it'll be Vipers basketball. Elijah Davis getting a little bit ahead of himself there and throwing the ball way in front of Justin Vallon, said he couldn't handle the pass. Cam Banks still to the backcourt, flips into the front court. Here's Quentin Fulton rather. He gets to the lane, his layup is no good. Cocoa trying to push the pace, left-hand corner, 3 in transition, in and out. Offensive rebound by the Tigers, and the putback is no good, but Donovan Giles will go to the line. And that was on Zachary Thompson, his first. And the first one is of 2-shot penalty is up and good for Giles. Giles 3 points in the first half, all from the line. Now 4 points for the game, all from the charity stripe. Misses the second one. And the rebound goes to Cocoa. That right-hand corner, 3 on the way, partially blocked. Battle under the basket, it's a scramble. Banks is down there with a bunch of Cocoa players. And it looks like timeout Cocoa. So timeout Cocoa, they'll keep possession after a scramble on the ground. Looked to almost be a jump ball. Oh no, timeout Space Coast. Cam Banks actually called it once he grabbed possession of the basketball. It's only a 30 seconds, so we'll keep it right here. Atlantic Sharks fans, baseball and softball season is coming soon, and you can catch the action from the diamond on MJT Sports Productions, the official play-by-play home of your Atlantic Sharks Be sure to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter. All at MJT Sports Productions, so you never miss a moment of the action. Let's go Sharks. So after the timeout, it's Vipers basketball. They'll inbound under the baseline, under the basket that they attack to defend, rather, to listeners' right. Three-man press comes from the Tigers. Cam Banks dribbles through it, gets it to Fulton. Fulton in front of the scorer's table. Back to Banks, left-hand corner. His three-pointer, so-ish. Cameron Banks, 5 points in the quarter. 14 overall, and it's 29-21 Cocoa. Casey Carroll slows it down. Bounce pass out high. Back to Carroll. Nice bounce pass under the basket, and a nice block by Visvillium on Giles. Giles just now getting to his feet as Cam Banks dribbles into the front court for the Vipers. He'll stand back way outside right. Kick it all the way to the left for Fulton. Fulton into the corner for Thompson. Thought about a three, but then goes back to Quentin Fulton out high. Guarded by Chevy Green. Fulton gets by Green with the left-hand drive. Kicks it to the corner. Thompson a three. It's good! 2 straight threes. This one from Thompson. And it's 29-24. Vipers trying to climb their way back into this. 4:53 to go, third quarter. Casey Carroll controls out high, guarded loosely by Cam Banks. Out on top, here's Green, back to Carroll. Carroll to Green. Green drives, gets to the lane, gets knocked to the ground, lands hard on his backside, and a foul is called. Excuse me, that was Amari Dixon. And that is the 4th foul in my book on Kanye Brown. The official scorer does not agree. I have 4. That's, okay, so that's 3. So I missed one. So I added one where it wasn't there. So he's got 3 fouls. But anyway, to the line for, but it's not in the act of shooting, so it'll be a baseline out. I'm waiting for the referees to clean the floor where Amari Dixon crashed to the ground. And it'll be a baseline in under the basket that they attack to listeners' right for the Cocoa Tigers. Val in the gutter. Underneath the basket, it goes to Giles, and Giles lays it in. His first bucket from the floor tonight. 31-24. The lead for Cocoa. Quentin Fulton in front of the Cocoa Tigers bench. Vipers got to get into the front court. They do to Van Landingham. And then Banks gets it, his heels on the half-court strike. A double team, and then he turns the ball over looking for Fulton. Running the floor, Chevy Green, layup, no good. Following up is Carroll. His putback won't go, and the ball is stripped away by Fulton. Fulton runs the floor. Euro step in the lane. His layup is no good, off the window. And a turnover by the Cocoa Tigers. Banks, left-hand three, no good. Offensive rebound, put back by Kanye Brown, is in. That was a wild sequence, and they're going to get an and one as well. And that's Donovan Giles' second foul. So to the line, Kanye Brown. That was his first points from the floor of the game, Kanye. It was a wild sequence. I'm not sure I could recall all of that in my head. There was 3 chances in rapid succession for the Vipers. And it was a nice putback by Brown off of a 3-point miss by Banks. And now Brown to the line for an and one. Flipped up and no good. Across the timeline, here's Casey Carroll. Right-hand corner, Valen. Valen back to Carroll. Banks stands at the top of the key, and not much pressure on Carroll. Cycles around to Carroll, left-hand corner from Dixon. He takes a three and pops out. It was halfway down. 31-26, a 5-point lead for Cocoa. Fulton into the front court. Through a double team. Here is Brown, and a ball is knocked out of bounds. It'll be inbound to Vipers in front of their own bench to listeners left. Into the ball game for Space Coast comes Desmond Mohammed. Inbounding it is Thompson. He gets it to Fulton. Fulton on the Atlantic logo. 3:15 to go, third quarter, 31-26 the score. Cocoa Tigers on top of the Space Coast Vipers. Quentin Fulton dances up high, picks it left-hand corner, Banks, a three, swish. Another three-pointer for Cam Banks, and it's a three-point game. Excuse me, a two-point game, 31-29. Casey Carroll drives, kicks to the left-hand corner for Vallon, then gets it back. Carroll dancing against Banks out high. Drives the right hand, fires a pass under the basket, and it goes through the legs of Donovan Giles and out of bounds. Vipers basketball, a chance to tie or take the lead. 31-29, 2:39 to go. Hot shooting from Cameron Banks and Zach Thompson has brought the Vipers to within two. Cameron Banks just has this lovely pull-up stroke from three. Very fluid motion. Vipers to inbound under the basket that they defend to listeners right. Three-man press for Coco. Banks the gunner, gets it into Fulton, then Banks gets it back. Cam Banks through a double team at his own free throw line. Kicks it to Fulton in front of the Coco bench all the way underneath. And a nice block as Mohammed was going up for a layup. Amari Dixon got the block on at the big junior. And now Casey Carroll controls for the Tigers. They control with a 2-point lead and 2:15 to go in the third quarter. Out on top, here's Dixon. Right-hand corner, baseline drive, gets to the lane, bounce pass underneath, finds a wide open Donovan Giles, who lays it up and in. Nice backdoor pass from Green to Giles that time. Banks, still in his own half of the floor, floats it all the way up underneath the basket and over the head of Zachary Thompson. A turnover for the Vipers, and Coco takes possession. This is what happened towards the end of the first half, too. Space Coast got very close, brought the game to within 3 points, and then Coco turned it on late. 1:49 to go third quarter, left-hand corner, and then back to the top for Casey Carroll. The pass from Amari Dixon. Carroll working on Banks. He moves to the left-hand side, floats it underneath for Dixon. Dixon, a tough layup, no, won't go, and the rebound is bumped out of bounds. Vipers basketball. Vipers doing a nice job on the defensive end, preventing those low post scenarios from going against them, unlike they did in the first half. Quentin Fulton shovels it across the timeline in front of his own bench, and then being pushed out of bounds is Jordan Van Landingham. And they're going to get Giles for his third foul. The Vipers to inbound in front of their own bench to listeners left. Up top, here's Banks. Guarded by Casey Carroll. He gets a screen, moves to his right. Banks now drives baseline, puts it up, and gets it blocked with authority by Amari Dixon. Offensive rebound, though, for the Vipers. A putback is no good from Brown, and now the Cocoa Tigers take the rebound. Pushing the pace, Casey Carroll into the front court. Carroll gets to the lane, drops it under the basket, blocked by Van Landingham. A putback, although, is good by Amari Dixon. First points of the night for Dixon, under a minute to go in the third quarter, and then a foul is going to be called as Van Landingham got a long pass into the front court, and it's going to go against Amari Dixon. Into the ball game for the Cocoa Tigers comes Caleb Thomas. He replaces Donovan Giles, who's got 3 fouls. So Kanye Brown has 3 for the Vipers. Devin Giles has 3 for the Tigers. It's a 6-point lead where once there was a 2-point lead for Coco. Quentin Fulton controls up high. Here's Van Landingham between the circles. Right-hand corner, Banks. Banks left-hand drive, but he's forced backwards by Casey Carroll. 38 seconds to go in the half. Fulton, the body on him is Chevy Green. Fulton drives left-hand side, gets forced back into his own bench, and the ball hits the referee, and it's going to be out of bounds, white ball. And that's the Cocoa Tigers. A chance to push the lead to more than 6. Remember, the lead at the end of both the first and second quarters was 7. Right now it's 35-21, Cocoa with the basketball and the lead. 25 seconds to go in the first and the third quarter. Bounce pass into the free throw line is in and out of the hands of Casey Carroll. Quentin Fulton in his own zone. Got to get it out of there. Banks throws it up. Van Landingen. Back to Fulton. 7 seconds to play in the quarter. And they're in no man's land. Fulton with 3 seconds. Baseline, throws up a shot and gets fouled. And is that going to be 3 shots? And they're going to be 3 shots as Dobbs committed the foul on Quentin Fulton. He just chucked up a prayer with a second to go in the third quarter and got hit on the arm. So now Fulton at the line for 3. His first trip to the line of the ball game, had 5 points in the first half. Nothing yet in this third quarter. Up and in from Fulton his first time up. He's a 61% free throw shooter on the season. And the gap is 5, and it could be 4, or it could be 3. He's got 2 more shots coming. Fulton hits the second one. He sits very low in his hips before he goes up to shoot free throws. Almost looks like he's doing a squat in the weight room. And also kind of bounces to his right hip right before he's going to shoot as well. Third of a 3-shot penalty on the way. Swish. He got all 3 of them to Quentin Fulton. The lead is 3 at the end of the third quarter. We got ourselves a ball game, folks. 8 minutes to go. Cocoa Tigers 35. Space Coast Vipers 32. We'll take 30 seconds and be right back. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of 4A District 9 basketball. "16 points in the third quarter for the Space Coast Vipers. They have lowered the gap to just 3. 35-32. The number 3 seed Cocoa Tigers in danger of an upset here as we come down the stretch. Just 8 minutes to play, and it's going to be Vipers basketball with a chance to erase the lead completely and take their first advantage of the game. 3 big 3-pointers in that third quarter from the Vipers. 2 from Banks, 1 from Thompson. And Cam Banks controls for Space Coast. He has been the catalyst all night for this Vipers team and all season as well. He rolls to his left, gets a pick, forced back by Dixon. Bounce pass Van Landingen. Van Landingen through a double team. And now thrown to the left-hand corner for Mohammed. Mohammed all the way back up to the top for Fulton. And Fulton will control for the Vipers. The senior, Quentin Fulton, kicks to Banks. Back to Fulton. Between the circles, guarded by Casey Carroll. He drives, puts up a left-hand layup, won't go. Rebound to Dixon. And the Tigers break out. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Going to the lane and getting fouled is Caleb Thomas, and he'll go to the line. That's Mohammed, his second foul on Desmond Mohammed, the sophomore guard. And at the line is Caleb Dobbs. No points in the ball game so far for Dobbs. Chance to get on the score sheet. His first one's up and good. Neither of these teams had the most successful regular season. The Vipers 6-15, the Tigers 9-11. Second one is up, and Anna's hitting him both was Dobbs. Fulton throws it across the timeline into the hands of Amari Dixon, and a turnover for the Tigers. Casey Carroll to Dixon. Almost got stripped, but Carroll gets it back. And now Banks gets a hand on a pass, but it still comes back to Casey Carroll. So 2 deflected passes in this possession for the Vipers, but they still can't grab a turnover. 6:46 to play in the ball game. Cocoa up 37-32. Carroll, left-hand drive, gets to the lane, and a foul is going to be called on the floor. And it's going to be Cocoa to inbound. I'm not sure who the foul was on, but it was a foul. So, Cocoa with a long inbounds pass. It comes to the top for Dobbs. Dobbs to a double team to Carroll. Carroll drives, kicks it to Dobbs. His three-pointer, no good off the front of the rim. And a offensive rebound is grabbed by Justin Vallon. He goes up and does not score it, but he'll go to the line. And that'll be Brown's 4th now, officially. As to the line for 2 shots goes Justin Vallon. Vallon bricks the first one off the back end. Second top scorer in the first half for Cocoa, 7 points for Justin Vallon, the sophomore. His second attempt from the free throw line is up, and it is good. Again, the press comes for Cocoa. Cameron Banks passes it to Mohammed. Mohammed bounces it across the timeline, and Van Landingham couldn't control the pass. And it's out of bounds. Another turnover. The Vipers imploding here in the 4th quarter under the pressure. Back to a 6-point lead where there was once only a 2-point lead. Cocoa with the advantage in the basketball. Casey Carroll bounces to his left-hand side. Back to the top for Dobbs. Dobbs throws it under the basket. Dixon corrals the pass, lays it up and in. Nice job by Amari Dixon. Inbounds pass goes to Fulton, and then back to Banks. Long pass ahead for Mohammed. Mohammed trapped by the midcourt line. Now Banks is in a double team. He throws it to the left-hand corner, Van Landingham. Back to the top for Fulton. 5:45 to go in the ball game, and an 8-point lead for Cocoa. Van Landingham, a three-pointer too strong, missed everything, and Cocoa with the rebound, pushing it ahead. Vallon into the paint, gets the bucket on the right-hand layup for Vallon. And a nice pass down the court, but missing the wide-open layup is Desmond Mohammed. 10-point lead for Cocoa. Bounce pass under the basket. A layup is no good from Chevy Green, and the rebound to the Vipers. Cam Banks drives the lane. Encounters a double team down low, throws it back to the top to the Atlantic logo at center court for Quentin Fulton. Fulton, left-hand drive, gets to the lane, puts it up, no good, and the rebound goes to Dixon. Dixon into the front court, Caleb Dobbs. Dobbs to the lane, gets stripped to the basketball by Van Landingham. And then a pass into the front court for Banks. Banks, a drive, fakes a pass, and gets fouled going to the basket. And it'll be Amari Dixon's second foul. To the line goes Cam Banks, his third trip to the charity stripe tonight. 4 of 6 from the penalty stripe tonight. Banks into his windup, and it's swished it through. Lead down to 9, 42-33 for Cocoa. Every time the Vipers seem to get a little bit close in this game, the Tigers just turn it up, get a turnover, get a couple of points in a row. They've done it again here. The lead was down to 2 at the beginning of the quarter, and now it's 9. And the second one is missed from Banks. Rebound goes to Casey Carroll for the Tigers. Carroll floating it up underneath to Dixon. Dixon's momentum took him too far, so he'll pitch it back to Carroll. High screen underneath Dixon again. This time he gets the tough layup to fall. Dixon has 6 points in the second half. 11-point lead, 44-33. Into the front court for Ira Foster, and then a back over and back violation against the Vipers. We'll give the ball back to Cocoa once again. 11-point lead in the basketball, 4:25 to go. And the Tigers can maybe start thinking about working some clock here. Carroll into the high post. Dixon gets the ball poked away from him. And it'll be Coco Ball inbounding out of the basket that they attack. Two listeners right. Oh, excuse me, it's going to be Vipers ball. No, it is going to be Coco Ball. Excuse me, Zachary Thompson was down there, and I thought it was Space Coast ball. But Coco has it, but they throw it away off the inbounds pass, but it comes all the way back up to Casey Carroll. Elijah Davis backs up towards the scorer's table, nobody on him yet, and plays it flat to Chevy Green. Green, off a screen to Caleb Dobbs. And now another screen to Dixon as they'll just work it back and forth and back and forth. Up on top here, now a drive from Green. He's tied up underneath, but finds a nice cutting pass to Caleb Dobbs, and Dobbs lays it in. 46-33, Coco asserting their will here in the fourth quarter, trying to move on to the semifinals. Quentin Fulton, the right-hand corner, throws it all the way back to the top, and the ball is intercepted, and to the lane, and an easy layup goes Casey Carroll. 48-33, Coco away on top now, and another turnover as Cameron Banks is forced to pitch the ball out of bounds because of a double team. A couple of changes for the Vipers roster, well, only one change. Desmond Mohammed checks back in, where Ira Foster used to be. Carroll against Banks, left-hand side, under the basket for Davis. Elijah Davis gets his own miss, puts it back, up and in. First points of the second half for Elijah Davis, it's 50-33. 3:02 to go, long pass ahead, finds Van Landingham. Transition three, in and out, and the rebound goes to Tigers. Pushing the pace, here's Casey Carroll, gets to the paint, lays it off underneath. Tough basket for Dixon, won't go, but a nice rebound to Chevy Green. Green to the corner, three-pointer all the way from Dobbs, so-ish. Caleb Dobbs gets in on the act. And another turnover as a pass into the front court intended for Banks goes nowhere, but then a long pass for the Tigers is equally to nobody, and it's over the baseline. Timeout called by the Space Coast Vipers. It is now a 20-point lead, 53-33 for the Coco Tigers as they have dominated this fourth quarter. The score was once 31-29. It is now 53-33. Someone's going to have to do the math for me on that one because I can't do that in my head. But it's a 20-point lead. We'll take 30 seconds and be right back. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of 4A District 9 playoff basketball. .230 to go in the ball game here from Atlantic High School. It's a 20-point lead, 53-33 for the Coco Tigers, and all of that work has been done in the fourth quarter. Into the front court for the Vipers comes Quentin Fulton. He gets the ball tapped away from him by Caleb Dobbs. And it'll be Vipers inbound under their own bench to listeners left. But at the end of the third quarter, it was a 2-point ball game. 31-29. Van Landingham tries a three from straight on, too strong. Banks grabs the long rebound to the right-hand wing. He drives baseline and gets a foul called as he goes to the basket, and Cam Banks will once again go to the line. I think it's Amari Dixon, and it is, that draws his third foul of the contest. Banks not as successful from the free throw line as you probably would want to be in a game like this. Just 5 of 8 as he gets that first one to fall. Banks is second, off the front of the rim and rolls in, so he's got them both this time. 53-35, Coco 2 minutes from a date with Satellite in the semifinals. Underneath the basket, the ball is poked away from Dixon, but it comes right back to Chevy Green. Green back out on top to Elijah Davis. Davis pressured by Thompson. Davis drives past Thompson, gets to the lane, puts up a layup. It's no good, but he's fouled. And that'll be on Thompson, his second. 1:52 to go, and Elijah Davis is at the free throw line. His first one is short. Foul situation, nobody's in the bonus yet. 6 for Coco, 5 for Space Coast. As the second one rattles in, 1 of 2 for Davis. And still the full court press comes from Coco. Long pass to get past it to Van Landingham. He tries a 3 in transition and he missed it short. Ball bounces into the hands of Casey Carroll on the box out. Carroll over to Green. Green back to Carroll, right hand wing, and back to Green at the top of the key. Dances, put the ball through his legs, gets to the paint, throws it to the right-hand corner. Davis thought about a 3, thinks better of it, pitches it back to the top for Caleb Dobbs. Dobbs bounce pass left-hand wing, Casey Carroll. Carroll drives the lane, gets to the paint, meets no resistance but misses the layup. Dobbs grabs the offensive board. Now driving the lane is Dixon, his layup won't go. And another offensive rebound, but this time it's stolen away underneath by Quentin Fulton. Cam Banks to a triple team in his own zone. Ahead to Mohammed, back to Banks, under the basket, shoveling it to Van Landingham, and the putback is good from Banks. 54-37, under a minute to go now, as this will be the last outing for Alex Kenyon, Zachary Thompson, Sean Coots, as the turnover goes to the Vipers. Underneath the basket and getting fouled is Desmond Mohammed. So nice way to play to the whistle by the Vipers as they're still down 54-37. Carroll picks up his third, and that'll put the Vipers in the bonus. At the line for 2 is Desmond Mohammed. He misses his first one. That's Mohammed's first tally of the game, either missed free throw or point, so not a big night for the sophomore. Second one no good, misses them both. And the Tigers control the rebound, 40 seconds to go. Coco with this victory will move on. They'll play Satellite tomorrow night. You can hear that game right here on MJT Sports Productions on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Casey Carroll, left-hand drive, 23 seconds to go. Trying to force a turnover, they won't do it. Davis to the right-hand corner, Dobbs wide open for 3, won't take it. They'll just walk out the rest of the clock, 15 seconds to go. But as I said, for Alex Kenyon, Quentin Fulton, Zachary Thompson, and Sean Coots, it will be their last time wearing the colors of the Space Coast Vipers. Your final score, 54-37, as the final horn sounds to make it official. Your final score, once again, Coco Tigers 54, Space Coast Vipers 37. The end of the game. We'll be right back with the final scores and figures from this game and prep you for tomorrow's contest. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of the 4A District 9 basketball tournament. we have a final score in the second game of our quarterfinal doubleheader. It's the Cocoa Tigers 54, the Space Coast Vipers 37. Cocoa eliminates Space Coast and moves on to play Satellite in the semifinals tomorrow night. In the other game of the semifinals, or the quarterfinals rather, the Atlantic Sharks beat the Titusville Terriers 56-48. They move on to play the number 1 seed Astronaut War Eagles tomorrow night. Both of those games can be heard right here on MJT Sports Productions on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Here are your final numbers for the Space Coast Vipers. Leading all scorers with 22 points was Cameron Banks. Quentin Fulton had 8. Zachary Thompson had 4. And Kanye Brown had 3. And for the the Cocoa Tigers, 2 players had 9, Chevy Green and Casey Carroll. Caleb Dobbs had 7, Amari Dixon had 6, Donovan Giles had 8, and Elijah Davis had 5. That gets you your final score of Cocoa 54, Space Coast 37. So thank you for joining us for both of our broadcasts tonight. I greatly appreciate it. Once again, you can catch us tomorrow for the semifinals. We're live at 6 p.m. Eastern. I have been Michael Torillo saying so long and have a very pleasant good evening.